John Wick Chapter 4 is the latest entry into the John Wick franchise, so here are my thoughts and opinions on the movie. Before we jump into it, here is a quick spoiler warning for John Wick Chapter 4 and all of the other John Wick films that came before. Like the video and come back later if you haven't seen it. Alright, John Wick Chapter 4 was an insane movie. I loved it. I spent the entire week binging the John Wick franchise for the first time even, because I hadn't actually seen any of them before this one. So I was doing a lot of preparation, and this is genuinely an amazing action movie. I'd even go as far as to say that this goes above and beyond to potentially be one of the best releases of 2023. As I just said, John Wick is a great movie with even greater action sequences, probably some of the best you've ever seen in the franchise. But at its heart, this is a great ending and final chapter to the story we've been building since the first movie. This film is like just shy of 3 hours in length, so I wouldn't be surprised if this puts a few people off. But if you're willing to commit for this film, then it is definitely an insane experience. Now, Keanu Reeves, in my opinion, isn't an exceptional actor. He does his job, but I feel like there are definitely some areas in which he lacks. But he does once again prove that he was made for the role of John Wick and that the role is so perfectly suited for him. And even though we don't know what's for the future of this franchise, if this does end up being the final chapter, then it ends his story in a perfect place. I really enjoyed how they dealt with that. I think it would be really interesting to see what kind of legacy might have been left in like a future movie, maybe like 10 years down the line, if we ever go back to this world. Ian McShane once again returns as Winston. I thoroughly love his character. I genuinely think he might be one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite overall from the entire franchise. He's just a very witty and smart man. He plays his role perfectly, and his chemistry with John and Keanu technically is really, really good. Although every time I do see him, I do think of Blackbeard from Pirates of the Caribbean 4, but that's besides the point. He plays the character great. We also got introduced to a bunch of new characters in this film, played by the likes of Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård, for example. Both of those characters were insane. I loved them both. Rina Sawayama, I thought she was also excellent for the amount of time she had on screen, which sadly wasn't much. One thing to bring up is that this is sadly a posthumous release for Lance Reddick, who plays Chiron in the film. However, the film actually does manage to give him a send-off. It was really, really heartfelt to even see his character on screen. I really loved him as a character throughout all the movies, in fact. I thought he was great. But on the whole, the characters in this film were amazing. The synergy between each of them really, really worked for me. I loved it. And yeah, I thought it just flowed really well. Moving on to a few of the more technical aspects now. We have so much to talk about here. Starting off with that damn cinematography and lighting. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of it. It has been so present in all of the movies so far. This one is no exception. The green and the orange color combination is insane. I love that so much. And also how it just changes depending on different locations, such as we got a different vibe in the Japan section, and then we got a completely different color scheme in the France area. I just thought it was so unique how each country had its own like themes and styles. It worked so well. We have to talk about some of those action sequences because my god, were they amazing. I remember seeing this TikTok, which was like some guy that threw himself down the stairs for a stunt in the film. And I remember seeing that scene in the film, and it was literally for 2 seconds. That blows my mind and just proves how detailed each action fight was, just for those the tiny moments, which most people would probably skip over, but that just really stuck with me. And although it wasn't for very long, there was a few moments specifically in the Japan fight scenes which were just amazing, and they sort of gave me a bit of an anime vibe, which was just great to see. Also, to let you guys know, there is actually a post-credit scene at the end of this movie, which actually surprised me because there hasn't been one all throughout the entire franchise. This is the first one they've ever done, and it's a great one to stay for because it does potentially tell us what could happen with the future of this franchise. But personally, overall, I thought this was a fantastic movie. It's on par for me with John Wick 1, which is a massive success. I feel like it's definitely one of the stronger outings out of the entire franchise. But let's be honest, all of these films are just stunning and great. And if you love action, watch these damn movies because they are so much fun. But yeah, that's my review of John Wick Chapter 4. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. And also comment down below what your thoughts on this movie were. And if you want to see any different content, I'm starting to post on here a lot more. So let me know what you want to see. I'm happy to do anything movie TV based. It's going to be so much fun on here. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.